Hey everybody, welcome to On the Glide Slope. As you can see, we are configured for nighttime operations here in the basement simulator. We are in the A2A Cessna 182, and I thought it would be fun for us to fly a CAT rating for PilotEdge at night. So real world weather, real time. We're at Bakersfield. We just most recently finished the CAT-5 rating, which was flying from airport to airport, picking up air traffic control in the air. This time we're going to pick it up on the ground. So the procedure in this case is you look at the chart, and if the chart for the airport doesn't say it has a specific clearance delivery frequency, you call ground, tell them where you are, tell them that you are, in this case, a VFR departure, and where you're going, and that you would like to have advisories, and then they will give you a squawk code and departure frequency, and then you go through the normal procedure of ground, which will tell you how to taxi. You'll go to tower, you'll take off, you'll switch either when they tell you to switch or when you get out of the delta, and then proceed with whatever handoffs you have until you have the airport in sight where you intend to land. The CAT-06 calls for Bakersfield to Mojave. It's 50 nautical miles. We're flying through a MOA, military operating airspace. We'll presume that it is not active. Not a lot to worry about other than altitude. We need to be up at about 7,500 feet for this flight. We're taking off from Bakersfield at 500 feet, so we have to pick up a couple thousand feet altitude before we crash into the mountains, so we'll have to keep an eye on that at night as well. We'll probably have terrain running here on the GTN. And if the GoPro has enough juice, I may just record this one from beginning to end. So we'll start with picking up the weather.
Bakersfield Airport information, Quebec 0237 Zulu, wind 327 at 5, visibility 8, sky condition clear, temperature 112.6, altimeter 3005, ILS, runway 30 right and visual, runway 30 left in use, landing and departing runway 30 right and runway 30.
Okay, ground is 121.7. We'll wait and see if there's anybody there. I believe we're logged into PilotEdge. I always like to listen first and make sure I'm not going to talk on anybody. Yeah, well, let's try. Bakersfield ground, Skyhawk 15 Julie Golf is at the east ramp. We'd like VFR departure to Mojave for the CAT-06. We have Quebec, and we'd like advisories at 7,500, please.
15 Juliet Golf, Bakersfield ground. Good evening. Sorry, say again the aircraft type.
Skyhawk 172 slant Golf.
15 Juliet Golf, roger. Departure frequency 118.8 squawk 2051.
118.8 squawk 2051 for 15 Julie Golf.
15 Juliet Golf, read back correct. Are you ready for taxi at this time?
We are, we're ready to go.
15 Juliet Golf, roger, runway 30 right, taxi via Alpha Bravo.
30 right by Alpha Bravo for 15 Julie Golf, thanks. Okay, 2051. On the transponder, get ready for our tower, which is going to be 118.1. And then our next frequency after that is going to be 118.8. We'll worry about that in a second. And while we're at it, we might as well dial in the Mojave AWAS, which is 132.225. Okay, so now we can go. We can go to 30 right via Alpha Bravo. So let's do it. Okay, 30 right via Alpha Bravo. Okay. Hard to see at night. There's the understatement of the year. Hard to see at night. Smartest thing I've said all day. I have the lights turned way down in the sim for the airport lights because I don't think it looks realistic when they're really, really bright. But it makes it a little harder to see here. I think I'll turn on my landing lights just so I can see a little better. Okay, 30 right, so we're going to take off and then we'll make basically a right-hand turn and be on our way. Okay, we're here at Bravo, 30 right, we've done our run-up, we're ready to go to tower. Bakersfield Tower, Skyhawk, 15 Juliet Golf is 30 right at Bravo, ready to go.
15 Juliet Golf, Bakersfield Tower, good evening, on course approved, wind 330 at 5, runway 30 right, clear for takeoff.
30 right, cleared for takeoff, on course approved for 15 Juliet Golf, thanks. Okay, 118.8, we're just going to get that
Tower,
ready to go.
5995 Bravo's holding short 26 right.
And we're off.
5995 Bravo, Chino Tower, right crosswind departure approved, runway 26 right, clear for it.
5995
I haven't flown at night in a while, this is kind of different. Alright, we've got our strobes on, we've got our lights on, fuel pumps on, everything's ready to go. We're at the edge of the displaced threshold. Oops. A little bit of an overturn there. There's the outer marker indicator, middle marker indicator for the approach. Okay, off we go. Okay, engines are good, RPM's good, airspeed's alive, on the center line or close to it.
From 1727 at the right to the down base side, reporting side, please.
And we are going to take every advantage we can to climb because we need to get to 7,500 feet.
Right into the base, normal 1727.
Climb speed in this airplane is about 79, if I remember the numbers.
Here, Papa, not sure what you mean, make straight in, runway 16 right.
Okay.
Straight ahead, runway 16 right.
We're off.
1727.
44055, exit right when able, you can taxi Alpha to the ramp, remain this frequency.
Wait till we're past the runway, and then we'll make our on-course turn. Okay, we're ready to go.
Skywest 5505, exit left, taxi Alpha to the ramp, remain this frequency.
Right left for taxi Alpha to the ramp. Take it easy.
Skywest 5505, pass on the I-2, and just the only comment there would have come from the other controller that we filed the wrong routing, and I didn't catch it.
Now I'm listening to see if he gives us any other directions. I don't think he will, but we should be listening.
Routing would have been fine if you were flying a prop.
And I'm going to switch over real quick and turn the volume up on PilotEdge.
One of my buddies coming in on final.
07 departure, San Marcos.
Okay, I've got my volume set where they want.
Surfer 2 arrival.
We're climbing.
To maintain 5,000, departure 125.2.
We're generally on course.
04, American 1130.
American 1130, read that correct.
We've got the field there off to our right. Basically making a downwind departure.
Tower, Duke 2 Alpha Tango's on the localizer 27.
Oops, couldn't quite hear with that.
What was that for 95 Bravo?
Turn off our landing lights.
Bravo from Ontario Tower 120.
And our taxi lights.
Yeah, I've got you at 127.6, waiting for it to clear. 95 Bravo is 2.8 to the south, inbound for land in Ontario with India.
5995 Bravo Ontario Tower, roger, and a right downwind.
And we're trimmed for a good climb here.
6 left, the altimeter 2999.
Right downwind, 26 left.
And we're a ways away from being out of the Delta, so we're going to just keep listening.
Lindbergh Tower, 2 Alpha Tango's on the localizer 27.
2 Alpha Tango, Lindbergh Tower, good evening, wind is calm. Runway 27, clear to land.
Clear to land, 27, 2 Alpha Tango.
Palomar Tower.
We're running a
Skyhawk,
combination
122
of
Victor
the
Papa ILS 24.
Tabaret global lights
And 122 Victor Papa Palomar Tower. Good evening, wind is calm, runway 24 clear to land.
and the
24 clear to land.
oh, look,
122 Victor
lights,
Papa.
stars just came out. We're running a combination of the Tabaret lights and the Orbix lights. Looks good. Now, mountain flying overnight or at night, don't know if that's something I do in the real world. But this is supposed to be fun, so that's what we're doing, is we're having fun. Okay, we're over 3,000 feet. We can trim or lean out our mixture here a little bit. There we go, that feels like that's about right. And we're getting pretty close to getting out of the delta, in which case we'll switch over.
Number 15 Juliet Golf, contact Bakersfield approach 118.8.
Go to Bakersfield approach on 8.8 for 15 Juliet Golf, thanks. Okay, there's our handoff. I always write down who I'm talking to so I remember. Bakersfield approach, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is 4,500, climbing 7,500. Makes me wonder if we missed something.
Kirk 15 Juliet got Bakersfield departure. Bakersfield altimeter 3005.
05 for 15 Juliet Golf, thanks. Okay, we're good, altimeter's good. We're with Bakersfield. We have flight following and we are flying to Mojave. I always like it when you pick up different controllers on PilotEdge. It's great talking to the same guys from position to position, but it's always cool when you get a new voice. We're really flying by instruments here more than anything else. You can't see a whole lot. I know there are mountains out there. I've got terrain on this, and I also have synthetic vision on the ForeFlight. But, you know, you're really... might as well fly it like your IMC, because you can't see the horizon very well. No moon tonight, at least in the sim. And we're making our way. In my real world training, my night flights are coming up. Probably the lesson after next, I'll do night landings. I'm looking forward to that. That should be a cool experience. Okay, we're climbing now. We're coming up on 6,000 feet. We should make our altitude before we get to the train without much problem. There's our train map. And we're scanning our instruments. Engines are good. Trim pretty well. We can keep working the trim as we climb. We should need less and less rich mixture. Looks like we just climbed out of a haze layer. There we go. I can just see, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but I can just barely see the shadow of the mountains. But other than that, it's pretty much a black hole for me. That's an altitude warning. I must have had the altitude set to 65 or something like that, but that's good because that's where we should, well, no, we're going to 75. So if I wanted to set that altitude warning, I could. Put up to 7,500 or close to it. And then I'll at least, I should get a blinking sound, a light notifier when we get close to that altitude. But in the A2A, I'm not quite sure how well it talks to this yet, so I'm not exactly certain if it's going to be doing what it's supposed to be doing. Okay, we're not making the world's best airspeed with this climb. We're doing about 80 knots. So it'll be good when we get to there we go, 7,500. When we get to 70, when we get there, it'll be good to level off and cruise here in a couple hundred feet, pick up some airspeed. Otherwise, it's a slow trip to Mojave. Really can't see anything now in terms of roads. I can see one little road down there off to the right with some traffic on it. But other than that, we're pretty much flying by instruments. Okay, there we are, 7,500. We can level off and start to pick up some cruise speed. Back out of the throttle a little bit. And trim for level flight. All right, we're moving. I don't know if we'll have another handoff or not. I imagine we'll probably get handed off to LA Center at some point here. We'll leave the Bakersfield section. It might be Joshua. We're going to be going into the MOs, but the MOs aren't active at night here. We should be okay. The MO we're about to enter is intermittent, and the one after that is intermittent, Monday through Friday. But even if they're hot, you aren't prohibited from going into MOAs. You just are taking your life into your own hands if you do. Got a little off track there. Because there might be jets flying through there and doing their jet thing. If I'm flying by the stars, I think I can see the Andromeda Galaxy right here, which if I were to keep that just below the first third of the sun visor here, I'd probably do a pretty good job of flying where I want to fly. Navigation old school. Things are looking good on the terrain indicator. Not a lot of traffic around. There are actually some jets flying from the MOA I can see on the, oops, look at that. All right, classic, heads down, not paying attention, put us into a bank. Good way to get yourself hurt in the real world. I can see the top of the mountains here, just in terms of the starlight, and there is a haze layer. So I have some visual reference. It's not just a complete black hole. And I need to trim the airplane down just a little bit. There we go. Quiet on the approach frequency tonight. Now in a little bit, we're going to pick up the weather for Mojave. We'll ask for permission to go over and switch to that frequency for a little bit to get that. Or I could just put it on COM 2 and switch over and monitor both, which is easy to do. In fact, 132.25, I could switch that over now and we could test that.
Bakersfield Airport information.
Oh, still reading Bakersfield for some reason. Maybe COM 2 isn't talking to it the way it would through the new radio here. All right, well, we'll hang tight. We can always ask for permission to switch over to COM 2 to monitor.
122 Victor Papa, radar contact lost.
We can always ask for permission to go over and monitor that frequency. Okay, now I picked about a 1,500 foot clearance in terms of 7,500 feet for the route that I wanted to fly. But you're always hoping that you have an accurate altimeter and that your barometric pressure is right. So I might look for a MEDAR nearby. The closest one is 3005, which is where I am. So my altitude should be about right. But crashing into the mountains in the night is a bad thing to do.
American 1130, SoCal departure, radar contact, climb maintain 13,000. Skunk 15 Juliet Golf, contact Joshua approach 124.55.
Go to Joshua approach on 124.55 for 15 Juliet Golf, thanks. All right, Joshua 124.55. Listen to make sure nobody's talking to us. Joshua approach Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is 8,200. We're a little high, but the mountains have me nervous.
Gag 15 Juliet Golf, bigger correction, Joshua approach Palmdale altimeter 3001.
3001, 15 Juliet Golf. Yeah, we just lost 100 feet altitude just like that. Now, you could say that we need to be at an appropriate easterly VFR altitude, which would be 7,500. At the same time, right here, pretty soon, we are going to be within 3,000 feet of the ground, which makes it okay to fly just kind of any altitude we want. But we should be closer to 7,500, so I'm going to take us down a little bit. Okay, looks like we had enough juice on the GoPro, so we're going to keep recording. I've run out of juice twice now recording these videos.
American 1130 Los Angeles Center, climb
Not
maintain
eager to do it again.
1230, turn left direct, correction, turn right, direct San Marcos.
So I've got some bug in the FIP. I'm not sure if it's what I have it coded in SPAD or what, but it's crashing. It seems to crash when I try to switch over to both, and it doesn't do it consistently. I haven't been able to replicate it very well, but my compass has stopped working here because of that. And I just need to be mindful of that if I look at that it's not correct. Okay, we are getting closer to Mojave. We're about 19 miles now. Get to 15 miles, I'll switch over and ask if we can listen to the ATIS. Mojave's pattern altitude is 3,800. So if we are at 7,800 when we're down there, which is where we should be, or closer to it, then we'll have 4,000 feet to lose, which at 500 feet per minute is 8 minutes, which is at 120 knots. At 8 minutes, at 120 knots would be about 16 miles away. So we're going to need to start our descent when we're about 16 miles, which is coming up. So as soon as we are clear of altitude, and altitude beneath us is looking like it's around 4,000 feet, we can actually start to make that descent starting about now. Now we've got a peak as we get closer to Mojave that's about 3,700 feet. So I might turn on the synthetic vision here just to be safe. But we can start thinking about getting down. I can see a highway down there, and I can see town. That is Techapai. See the lights off of the roads off to the right there. Darkness off to the left. Okay, about here we're going to ask approach if we can switch over to the ATIS. Josh, approach 15 Juliet Golf.
15 Juliet Golf. Go ahead.
I would like to switch over to the Mojave ATIS.
15 Juliet Golf, that is approved. Radar services are terminated, squawk VFR, and once you get the weather, you can contact Mojave Tower. Airport is at your 12 o'clock and 15 miles.
Copy that, 15 miles to the field. We will get the weather and go to tower, squawk and VFR, 15 Juliet Golf. Okay, that was easy. Clear, VFR, squawk. We'll switch over to the weather. Which I'm not picking up, which leads me to think that it's a different frequency in the sim. I'll just check it on the map. Luckily with ForeFlight I can get it. The weather is 3001. Okay, we've got that. And wind is 230 at 4. Okay. So
American 1130 Los Angeles
tower is
Center,
127.6.
level 250.
Okay. Let's tell them where we are. We are about 13 miles inbound. We'll wait. Okay, we'll wait till we're 10. It's a little easier. Meantime, we'll continue our descent here, making our way down to pattern altitude, which is again 3,800. Those roads run out to Mojave, so the field should be out here. We're going to be looking for it. Okay, Mojave Tower 127.6, that's what we have. We are now 12 miles inbound, we'll call him. Mojave Tower, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is 12 miles west of the field, inbound for full stop.
15 15 Juliet Golf Mojave Tower. Good evening, and our right downwind runway 26, report midfield, the altimeter 3001.
Right downwind for 26, report midfield 3001 for 15 Juliet Golf, thanks. Okay, right downwind for 26, let's visualize that right now. 26 is running this way, so we're basically going to fly straight in and make right-hand turns. He wants us on right downwind for 26. Okay, that makes sense. So now I'm going to set my heading bug to 260 so I can be visualizing the direction of the field. And it should be coming up here pretty soon. Gotta be careful of some of this terrain here. And we're gonna make right downwind for 26. Okay, that sounds good. So we're basically flying straight at the field. We're just gonna, 26 is coming sort of straight at us, and we're gonna just make right-hand turns in. And we just have to be mindful of some of these wind turbines around here. And we have to be mindful of this hill that's off to our left, which I can see on the synthetic vision, but I don't want to run into. And we're looking for the strip.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
There we go. Let's get over this.
Obstacle ahead. Obstacle ahead.
We got the TAWS system warning us about the obstacles here, so we'll put a little bit of a climb on us here till we're past this. Everything says we're fine on the synthetic, and I can see the mountain off to our left, but we wouldn't see the wind farm. And now I see the strip. Okay, good. We can continue our descent. There's the field right in front of us. Okay, let's begin our descent checklist here. For the 172. Fuel selector is to both. Mixture is rich. Carb heat is on. Seatbelt's fastened. We've got the ATIS. Okay, we are starting to come in. I can see 26 now, which is right in front of us. We'll enter this right downwind. And now that we are clear of most of the obstacles, we can start making our way down to 3,800, which we're at 5, so we've still got about 1,000 feet to go. And let's not forget we're supposed to tell them when we're at midfield. Okay, flight instruments checked and set. Radios are checked. Let's get over to ground just so we're ready. 123.9. Okay. ATIS to check. Carb heat is on. Mixture is rich. Landing lights on. It's always good to be seen. Okay. We are over most of the obstacles. And we are making our final descent down to 3,800 feet. We're a little higher than I'd like to be, but we'll be there by the time we enter the pattern. And just look one more time, making sure we're visualizing this correctly. 26 right is the field coming at us this way. Set to our heading indicator, we're coming in on right downwind. Okay, good. Okay, here we are at 3,800 feet. Fuel pump on. Landing light is on. Mixture rich. There we go. Lobby Tower, Skyhawk 15 Juliet Golf is midfield, right 26.
15 Juliet Golf, thanks, runway 26, clear to land. The wind at 220 at 4.
26 cleared to land, thanks for the wind, 15 Juliet Golf. Okay. We're a little close to the field, so I'm giving us a little extra room here.
Los Angeles, good evening. Redwood 945,
There we go.
942, the San Francisco treat.
Right, so room.
Okay. Get straightened out on our pattern heading here.
Redwood 941, clear to the San Francisco Airport, Ventura 7 departure,
And
San
we
Marcos
are
transition, then as filed. Climb by a city
at the numbers.
5,000, departure frequency
So, flaps,
125.2,
first
squawk
notch.
6255.
Clear to San Francisco, Ventura 7,
Pitch
San
down
Marcos,
for
then as
90.
filed. Climb to 6, 17, 5,000, departures on 25.2 and 62.55 for Redwood 941.
Redwood 941, read that correct.
A little slow.
Los Angeles clearance. Get ready.
Straighten ourselves out.
I'm ready, I'm sitting down.
All right.
Not quite ready.
We are about 45 degrees. We'll make our turn on the base. And we're going to just kind of turn straight around. And I'm trying to work on the circular turn into the final rather than the square. Coming down to 80 knots. That's good. More power. Next notch of flaps. And straight around. There's our field. We are high.
San Francisco clearance, good evening. Aeromexico 193 with information Papa.
I could have flown a more
Los
regular
Angeles.
base on this, but that's all right. We're
Air
okay.
Mexico 193, San Francisco clearance, good evening, clear to the Los Angeles Airport. Stick 3 departure, eBay transition, then
We may
as
have to
filed.
slip it a little bit
Climb
here,
by a
but we'll be
SID.
all right.
Squawk 2754.
500.
Full
Clear to
flaps.
Los Angeles International via Stick 3 departure eBay transition, then as followed. Climb via SID, squawk 2754, Aeromexico 193.
Air Mexico 193, read back correct.
Airspeed's good.
Nice tower, Cessna 44055, holding short runway 16 right.
Cessna 44055, Van Nuys Tower on course approved, wind 240 at 3, runway 16
There we
right,
go.
clear for takeoff.
Come
Clear
back.
for takeoff, runway 16 right, Cessna 44055.
Over the threshold.
Los Angeles clearance, Delta
Speed's good.
572, IFR San Francisco.
Little ground effect. Here we go. Just like the real thing at night, kind of hard to tell where the bottom is, but we are down.
572, LA clearance, good evening, clear to the San Francisco Airport. Ventura 7 departure, San Marcos.
All right, we
transition,
mixed.
then as filed. Climb by a SID except maintain 5,000 departure.
Missed the
frequency.
exit I would have wanted to take. Oh, wait, looks like
125.2,
we're right here.
squawk 3605.
Okay, clear to San Francisco, Ventura 7. San Marcos transition, then as filed. Maintain. I climb via SID except maintain 5,000.
So we can come off right here.
3605, Delta 572, good evening.
Delta 572, read back correct. Good evening, John.
There we go.
Los Angeles clearance. Good evening, United 581. Instruments up to San Fran with a lot of whiskey.
Why am I not surprised? United 581 clear to the San Francisco Airport, Ventura 7 departure, San Marcos transition,
Okay.
as filed. Climb by acidic, maintain 5,000, departure frequency 125.
We'll tell them that we're here.
Squawk 4124.
Alright, we're clear up to San Fran via the Ventura 7 departure, San Marcos transition, Venice file. Climb to the SID, 17,500. SoCal's on 25.2, and we'll put in the box there 4124. United 581.
United 581, read that correct.
Thanks, Gold.
Mojave Tower 15 Julie Golf is clear of 26 at the Alpha Delta intersection, and we are ready to go to the ramp.
Number 15 Juliet Golf, Roger, you can taxi Alpha Charlie to the ramp for me in this frequency, and that is a pass on the CAT-06.
Alpha Charlie, stay on this frequency, and thanks for the pass, 15 Julie Golf. Okay. So, if I'm reading this right,
I'm gonna check my
and I like to think I am. Flaps up, fuel pump off, landing light off, taxi on.
Skyhawk 2 Fernando Charlie Echo at signature, looking for a southeast departure with flight following to John Wayne.
I do need to turn the taxi lights up just a little bit in the sim.
You see your Skyhawk?
Because I can't see a damn thing. At least not out the front window. Okay. Here we go. There are some hangars down there. There are some nice blue lights.
Roger, on departure, fly runway heading, maintain VFR at or below 1,500 until advised. Departure.
There's a hangar right over here we can go park at.
6541.
Okay, so that's the CAT-06. Just recorded the whole thing virtually, which was sort of fun. And, you know, the key thing is just to ask for the clearance before you take off. And follow the rest of the rules you've learned so far. Tell them who you are and where you're going. And write down the frequencies as you go. Make sure you follow the handoffs. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So, fun night flight tonight. Have fun doing that. I hope you guys liked it. Thanks again for watching. If you have questions about the sim, I've answered most of them at www.ontheglideslope.net. And you can find a lot of things there. If not there, then ask a question in the comments. I'll answer them as fast as I can. And other than that, thanks for spending some virtual evening time, although it's really evening where I am, in our little virtual Cessna flying over the virtual mountains to virtual Mojave for a virtual, well, I guess it's a real pass of the CAT-06 rating. Thanks again for watching on the Glide Slope.